Alright guys, well, another day. So this morning, woke up, normal time, 6:37. Looked at my phone. Of course I had notifications from the boiler sensors. So I take a look at it, and the boiler's 90 degrees, which we all know is not good. So I look at the app, like the chart, it shows the temperature range, and as of like 12:30 last night, it was already starting to dip and go down and down. So that either means A, it's out of wood, which I'm like, there's no way, right? Or the fire just went out because there wasn't enough load, which is almost impossible because it's negative. Like right now, it's still -4. I think it only got down to like -5 or something like that. Maybe -10, I don't know. So I get out here, and I'm anticipating that there's wood in there. Maybe, it bridged or something, and the air wasn't getting in there, because all I threw in there were just scraps. Those 5 totes I brought over the other day, I honestly thought they were, I knew some were scraps, but I thought they were, at least 1 or 2 of them had like cutoffs in there. Well, I was wrong. Every single tote I brought over were just scraps, like kindling pieces kind of deal, which we all know it all burns, but in this kind of cold, I mean, you just fly through that. So I get out here, look at it, there's nothing in there besides ash. I stir it up. Thankfully there was a good amount of embers and a little bit of coals underneath that I was able to and I threw in a bunch of what I have, this little stuff, and it started going. Well, it is now 10:30, and I'm still not back up to temp. I've loaded it twice, and I mean packed it full with this little stuff. So now we're back up to, I think, 150 degrees finally. I just brought over a bunch of cutoffs. I'm going to throw those cutoffs in. It's the last thing I wanted to be doing today is this. I wanted to be moving logs. I started doing that, but I've had to come over here twice now and feed it. Now I already know it's going to be out already. Just embers. So now I'm going to chuck in probably at least a half a tote of these cutoffs here, if not more. Shut the door, and then we should be good till tonight. That little stuff, it's great for recovery times, it just doesn't last. And I packed her full. Like full. I think I almost threw in a full tote of that stuff last night, and within 5 hours she was out. And out. So yeah, I'm gonna get going here, get this thing loaded, and get back to moving logs. hours here. I'll tell you what, it is cold. Boilers, it was actually back up to 177, so as you saw, I threw in a bunch of wood. That should get us, it's hard to say, at least I'd say 4 or 5 hours, because I just turned the attached garage back on. I put the house back on. We got a fire going in the house. It's already 74, but I turned it back on. Turned it to 75 just to get the rest of the house warm, not just where the fireplace is. I mean, the whole house does get warm from the fireplace, but it takes a while. So I turn that on. I'll let that go. That'll put a hit on the boiler, and then I'll turn on each garage individually, let that run, because I'll tell you what, my bigger main garage, that's probably going to run for 2 days, or not 2 days, but it's probably going to run for probably 4 or 5 hours straight, because I've had it off for 3 days and it's been really cold. So it's not 0 degrees in there, but it's probably 30 degrees. So she's going to run a while, and that's okay. We'll get it back up to 10. You know, just go through some wood. So that's why I put them on slowly. Speaking of how cold it is, my brother was in the skid loader yesterday moving logs, and he had a log roll over the grapple pretty much right onto the main piston that open and closes the grapple. Obviously it was an accident, you know, stuff happens, it's just a matter of time, and hit the hose where it connects to the cylinder. Didn't mess up the cylinder, but it broke the fitting off of the hose. You can hear the squeak, it's driving me nuts. I stopped for a little bit. I was already moving logs, and once the cab got really warm, which it is now, that squeak went away. So I know, but I may pull up this boot and see if I can grease it. I feel like it's right on top here. So yeah, he only moved logs for about an hour, so now I gotta go get another hose made. That and one of the other fittings where it comes off the skid loader to the hose is kind of leaking, so I don't know. I hope he didn't crack that, because that's a steel line and that would just be a pain in the butt. It's right at the fitting though, because even this fitting from the grapple to the skid loader, because the grapple is sitting outside, I gotta have some moisture built up in it, and it's frozen and it's not seating properly. It was gushing at first, but once the hot or the warmer hydraulic fluid got into there, you can tell it's seated nicely now. So I'm gonna have to pull this grapple into the garage tonight and let it thaw out. It'll be pretty warm, but whatever moisture's in there, and I've had to do that almost every year, get the blowtorch out and really heat it up and melt whatever's in there. So lost a little bit of hydraulic fluid, probably like a couple shots worth, nothing crazy. So I want to get as much moved today as possible. Of course, I forgot my shade somewhere. It's like I said before, we're going to be getting another 2 loads this week, and I want to make sure I got room down there for them. So the more I move, the better. Yeah, it's the last thing I wanted to do though, was come out to a cold boiler. I mean, it ain't the first time, it won't be the last. Like, I kind of anticipated it because I threw in all that little stuff, which is definitely not ideal. You know, but, you know, it's like you hate to throw that on the fire pit in the summer because it's valuable wood. You know, it's BTUs that you're just kind of throwing out the window. But at the same time, it's taking up my boiler tote space. And as you can tell, I really need the wood, so I don't know. I don't mind burning that stuff in the summer, I suppose. But I do think it, you know, especially once we get the cleaner here, hopefully soon, that'll kind of, you know, fine tune the process. Unless it's like, unless we take that kindling pieces, which we do, and make it into kindling bundles, I'm just gonna burn the rest. You know, get some of the scraps out, and the rest of it I'm just gonna burn. It's just not worth it. I'm out here in the negative degree weather trying to throw in that little stuff, and that sucks, let me tell you. Versus what I just did, throwing in these bigger chunks, I can do that in 60 seconds versus literally like 5-10 minutes of messing around with all this little stuff. It's just not worth it, especially in this kind of temps. So, I mean, if that's all you got, that's all you got. And obviously I got 4 more totes of that stuff, and I'm gonna burn it, of course, because I got it and I need it, because that's really all I got left. So, it just goes to show you. And we've been burning in the house the last couple of days because I'm trying to minimize how much boiler wood I'm using just so we can last a little longer. I mean, it's definitely helping. I mean, that fireplace will heat that whole house. And we're burning oak in there, so and it's lasting, and we're getting really good heat out of it. So I'll probably keep burning in the house, which I actually like doing. And I'll probably keep doing that for the rest of the winter. To tell you the truth, that way I can keep my shops and attached garage, hot water going. And then obviously in the morning, if none of us get up early, the boiler just takes over and heats the house. So yeah, that's kind of, it's a good thing. I don't want to say home, but I'm working from home. I'm always doing something. Then I can feed the fire in the house, babysit this boiler right now because I got a bunch of little stuff. See, like right now it's already back in a burn cycle. And it's been, what, 5-10 minutes? And it was already up to temp. It just sucks when you gotta pretty much start from scratch. You know, no coal bed. Attached garage was probably 50 degrees, so I got that set at like 78. It's not 78 in there, it's just where I have the sensors and stuff. Keep it a little warmer, so it's like 70 degrees normally. You know, get the car melted off, all your clothes, jackets you put on. Like, I'm about to take all this off. You know, it's nice and warm when you put your boots on and stuff. And then I'll turn the smaller garage on. That's where the skid loader is right now. Kiln, which I do have sold, by the way. I actually disassembled 90% of it for shipping, so it doesn't get damaged while shipping and fall off the walls and stuff. So that'll be leaving here in the next week or so, which is good. And then on to the next one eventually. So enough talking for me. I'll probably flip this camera around so you can see a little bit of log moving here. I'm probably going to do this, if all goes well, for the next, I don't know, probably 3 hours. The more I get moved, the better. I mean, it's hard to do this non-stop. I mean, I don't mind going down and back to load the live deck for, you know, 4 trips, process logs, go get more. I don't mind that. But doing this non-stop, it kind of gets old. But I got to do it. I got to do it. So yeah, let's get busy here. guys. Well, obviously you can tell it's dark. It's about almost 6 o'clock. I think I moved logs for, I don't know, it's like 3-4 hours. I think I moved around 10-12 cords, hard to say, at least. So happy about that. I mean, I'm also working on putting in the whole upstairs, all new hardwood floors. So took a break from moving logs, went up there, put a couple more rows of boards down, blah blah blah, went back out. I don't really like doing that though, because then the tractor cools back down, even though I put it in the second shop there, but it still cools down, you know. So I only took one break, and then I went back out and did it for another 2 hours. She gets nice and toasty though. I did fill the boiler with about as much as I'm going to put in it right now of the good logs. It's early, but I'm going to pack her full. Two wheelbarrows here. That should get us through the morning. Still cold, but I really don't feel like coming back out later. So yeah, there's still a decent amount in there. So let's get some logs loaded. But yeah, I have to get those, make some room down there, because I'm expecting a bunch more logs delivered. So I gotta make room. I mean, there's plenty of room for like 3 more, but obviously if it wasn't so cold, I'd be out working. I mean, that's still work, but out cutting trees. So I'm here, I can move it. The more I get up here, the better. And I know some of you are going to be like, oh, I got to get the log trucks up here. Yes, I know that. One day, soon enough. So, I'm just glad I brought this tote over. This stuff just burns so much better, it lasts so much longer. It's just a reminder how much I really want to get that garage spray foamed. I think that's a must. And it's not even like I keep it that warm. I mean, it's like 55 degrees in there. I mean, it's not cold, it's not hot. I mean, obviously right now it's ridiculously cold, so that don't help. I just like to keep all my stuff warm, or warm enough. So hopefully all you guys have been staying warm and have enough wood prepared. You would think I would be, but apparently not. That's what happens when you got so much going on all the time. You think you're good, but then you're not. And when you're nonstop every day, it's sometimes you overlook some stuff. Well, that's all right. Like I said, it's not our only heat source, at least for the house. We got the fireplace going right now, even though we don't have to. I got enough oak to get us through, so this is primarily to heat the shops and everything else. But you know, come morning though, fireplace will go out if you don't get up early, and then the furnace kicks on, heating from the boiler, so which is fine. Like right now, I can hear that the shop's running right now. It's cold out. I don't even know what it is. It's probably like 5 degrees. Cleaned out the ashes this morning, so I know that's good. I didn't have to, but I did it anyways. I pretty much did a full restart. Cleaned out all the ashes on the inside for the most part. The only thing left were like big coals, a little bit of ash, but not much. So we should be good. Get better heat transfer, at least on the bottom. where the water jacket sits. Every little bit helps, especially when it's this cold. Yes, this is a lot of wood I'm going to be throwing in. But I do not want to wake up tomorrow and look at the temp from my phone and it's cold. I do not want to do that. So the only way to combat that is throw a lot of wood in. I'm sure you can tell by the time lapse in some parts of the video, you can see the boiler smoke. Taking wood next door. And it only really does that for the first 2 burn cycles, and then it's clean. And it does that if you, especially if you don't have a coal bed, which I didn't. I do now though. Alright. That should be good. Let's get this thrown in as fast as we can. I ain't gonna have to stir anything because there's wood in there. All right, let's get you guys where you can see. Hopefully that should be good. All right. Yeah, there's a good amount of wood in there. All right. Let's get her turned back on. See where she's at. Yep, she'll fire 173. Okay. Definitely warm in here. All right, tell you what though, I'm gonna keep saying having that heated cab makes all the difference. Otherwise I would have got nothing done today as far as moving logs. I mean, maybe a little bit, but I would have been absolutely frozen and miserable. So at least I'm still getting work done. Man, it is cold. It can warm up just a little bit, that'd be nice. All right, well, that's that. So I'm glad I got the boiler back up, the temp, logs moved, getting work done in the house. So just another day, being busy. So let me know what you guys think, but as always, keep burning.